In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a simple floor plan like this for a house. So to do that, I'm going to create a new sketch. I'm going to go up to, let me get to my scenes, go to my scenes, go to plane, top view, and then I'm going to create a rectangle, and I'm going to make my house, I'll do 60 by 40, so 60 feet by 40 feet. Then before I start drawing the inside walls, I want to make sure I give my outside walls some thickness. I'm going to use the offset tool for that, and I'm going to type in 0.5, which gives a half foot or 6-inch thickness for each wall. Now to start making the rooms, I am going to use my pencil tool. Actually, before I do the pencil tool, I'm going to go and use the tape measure. The tape measure is kind of what construction lines would have been in Fusion. So I am going to measure from here over, and I know I want these rooms on this side of the house to be 14 feet, so I'm going to type in 14, hit enter. So that gives me a good starting point. Then I will switch to my pencil tool, and I'm going to bring this one down. I'm going to type in 15 because I want this room to be 15 foot. Then I'm going to start to drag over and type in 0.5 to give another 6-inch thickness for that wall. And then I will drag back up. Okay, then I want a doorway here, and I want this doorway to be 32 inches, so I'm going to go back to my tape measure and then type in 32, but this time I need to make sure I specify 32 inches, otherwise it's going to be 32 feet, so I'll type in the quotes there. Okay, now I can switch back, and this one's going to go all the way down to, I'd say probably somewhere about right here. I'll go ahead and type in 15 again for this distance, and then start to move over, type in 0.5, come back up, and you can kind of see it usually snaps to this. If it doesn't, I can kind of come over here and then jump over and it'll snap. Okay, so there is that wall. Now I want another doorway here, so I'm going to click on my tape measure again. I'll make this 32 inches as well. And then I will draw on my last wall. Okay, now I need my wall that goes between these two rooms. So this is the doorway into this room, this is the doorway into this one, and then somewhere in here I want another wall. I'm going to start my wall right here, and then again make this 0.5. Now I'm going to need some kind of a doorway here, so I am going to actually make this like French doors or something. So I'm going to draw a line here, then use my tape measure tool, and I'm going to make this, I'll make it 6 foot. Draw another line here. Now what I can do is I can go through and start deleting some of these unnecessary lines. So I'm going to use my selection tool. This line, this line, these lines that are inside, oops, didn't want that one. I really don't need those. This line would be unnecessary because it's all part of that wall. Same with these. And you can kind of go through, you don't have to do this, but when it comes to extruding these up to make the walls, it actually can make it a little bit easier. That is how I start making the walls for my rooms. I'm not going to take your time making all the rest of this. I'll jump over to my other sketch and then we will start extruding. Okay, so I have finished my floor plan. I have not deleted the lines in between each of these, just to show you what you can do if you did not delete those. So I'm going to go to extrude now, and when I select, say, this area, you can see how it does not include any of these inner walls because I didn't delete those. Let me go and start dragging up. I'm going to make my ceilings 9 foot. So that extruded the outer walls, but did not extrude the inside ones. But it will remember, this is the nice part about SketchUp, it will remember what I just typed in. So if you did not delete those lines, what you can do now is you can actually just come through and start double clicking on each of these sections that needs to be extruded, and it will remember that you typed in 9 for your last one, and it will keep using a 9 for each of them. So it probably would have been easier for me to have gone through and deleted each of those and then start extruding. But if you did not do that, this is a way that you can easily accomplish the same thing. Okay, I've gone through and extruded all my walls. Now I need to do my steps. So for each step, I'm going to extrude it up 7 inches. Average is like 6 to like 9 or 10 inches for a step rise. 7 is kind of the average, so I'm going to use 7 for this. So I'm going to click on this, I'm going to type in 7 inches. And then if I rotate this around, we can see that this one has been extruded up. But then that means this one actually needs to go up 14, 21, etc. But if I double click, there's 7. Double click again, there's 7 more. Double click, double click, double click, 7 more. So you can do the math, or you can just use that little shortcut method and keep double clicking until you get the height that you want. It's entirely up to you, whichever way you prefer to do that. I'm going to go through and finish all these. When I get to this landing, it's going to be the same idea. It's basically just going to be another 7 inches up. And then this is what will take me up to my 2nd floor. Okay, so there's my steps. Now I have an extra one. A common design in 2-story houses that have basements is to now do another set of steps going down underneath this set that actually goes down into your basement. So I have an extra one here that I'm actually just going to extrude up to kind of make that the start of that staircase, and a door would go right here, and then that first step would be right here underneath this, which I'm not going to make. So there is my 1st floor layout. The next steps would be then to go through and start cutting windows and doors into these outer walls. And then you can go to your materials and you can start searching for things like paint, wallpaper, wood, whatever, to give it a design. And then lastly, you can go to the warehouse and you can start looking for furniture. So I could search for chair. And you could start throwing that kind of stuff into your sketch. So let's say I want this one. Okay, I throw it in my house. There's my chair. If you need to rotate it, etc., you can click on it. You can use the various tools. You can see how if I hover over that point, I get the rotate tool, so I can rotate it around, drag it, place it exactly where I want. You can see that this model came with the image of it and the model, so I can right click on it, explode, and then I can click on that image, delete the image, leaving just the chair. If the chair is too big or too small, then I can use my scale tool, select it, and I can start dragging to zoom in and out, make my chair bigger or smaller to match my house. And that would be the basic process for any furniture that you find. Okay, so at this point I'll let you finish off your model. Don't forget to save it, since SketchUp does not automatically save. So go up to the little drop down here, go to Save As. Make sure that you give it a name. You might get a message like this if you have imported things from the warehouse that are no longer in use, asking if you want to purge unused items. If you do not plan to use any of those items, it is safe to say yes, purge all. Choose your location, give it a name, and then you're done.